Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Teachers College Convocation Ceremony. That's the first of many applause. So now we're here to celebrate our graduates in this joyous occasion. But I would be remiss if I did not start by acknowledging the war in the Middle East and the extreme amounts of pain experienced by Palestinians, Israelis, Muslims, Jews, and all of us. Now, some of you would have been celebrating commencement on the Columbia campus this week, so we're especially glad to be recognizing you today with your family and friends here at the United Palace Theater. Now, TC hosts a competition among our graduating students for a statement to be read at the Columbia commencement as degrees are conferred. This year, our winner is Paritosh Joshi, who's here today. He is graduating with a Master's of Arts in Psychology and Education. While we're unable to read his statement at Columbia, we have a captive audience here, so let's give Paritosh his due. I will now read his winning submission. The class of 2024 is no exception to the excellent caliber of graduates that Teachers College has produced since its founding in 1887. This year's degree recipients are leaders and intellectual risk takers. They are brave, determined, ambitious, and above all, resilient. In the United States and across the globe, Teachers College graduates are ready to take on the world and carry out bold structural reform in health, psychology, education, and beyond. Every one of them has their unique story that brought them to this moment. And as this time at TC comes to an end, it is important to reiterate just some of the intersecting crises that they have encountered. COVID-19, health inequality, attacks on the educational system, and the severe impacts of climate change. But to every challenge, they have been able to say, "Thank you, next," and keep fighting. I have no doubt that they will use the skills they have cultivated during their time at this terrific institution and continue to make their voices heard. So thank you, Paritosh, for your inspiring words and for introducing me to Ariana Grande in the process. So let's all give him a round of applause. Congratulations. It was important to me to read Paritosh's words, to honor his achievement, along with all of yours. The fact is, the points in our lives where there is a clear line of accomplishment, something singular and momentous, are all too rare. Today is one of those days. We are marking the significant achievement of receiving your TC degrees. This is a milestone that will help shape the narrative of your lives. So please join me now again in a round of applause to recognize our 2024 graduates for a job exceedingly well done. I know you're just warming up. Now, I've been in your seat, and I've also had two daughters in that seat. So believe me, I know what this also means to your supporters and loved ones. So one more time with your applause, and this time, along with our graduates, let's celebrate families, friends, faculty members, advisors, and mentors who helped them to this point. All right, now we can really applaud. Now, graduates, today you stand in community. Look around. You're among 400 of your peers, plus 1,600 more in other ceremonies. And you've all shown up wearing the same outfit. But seriously, there's a meaning in that. You're experiencing something significant and also very personal together. Each of you has received a TC education, and no matter your discipline or focus of study, whether preparing to teach secondary mathematics, serve as a psychologist, a public health advocate, or policy analysis, your work has been grounded in impact, in supporting the greater good. This is how our institution was founded 137 years ago. in the collective consciousness of that era's leading scholars, practitioners, philanthropists, and social reformers. It was said of TC's founder, Grace Hoadley Dodge, that she had a 100-year outlook. She looked ahead a century and made her plans accordingly. So how will you make your plans? Even with a 100-year view, I don't think Grace Hoadley Dodge could fathom how computer algorithms would determine our news intake, or that artificial intelligence would affect our lives so dramatically that we'd need to question what we are seeing and hearing. Especially today, a collective consciousness, even consensus, can seem like a pipe dream. And I recognize that looking 100 years ahead is a tall ask, given where we are at this moment in our history. To consider our future selves almost seems like I'm asking you to leapfrog over our current reality. And to that we must bear witness. Still, I ask, who will you be? How will you move forward? Within our community, especially over this last year, you have at times disagreed. You may have felt dispirited. You have also felt supported in pushing boundaries and questioning practice. What I know is that each of you has been guided by your personal values, and that is how it should be. Our challenge is to apply those values in the context of our education and knowledge, including opposing points of view, and then build, step by step, a path forward for those coming behind. You are among this era's leading scholars, practitioners, thinkers, and reformers. This is your community. Your peers and mentors are in fact exploring how to use that artificial intelligence for good, for helping us understand and address equity in K-12 schools, to combating misinformation, to examine how the mass use of AI further aggravates years of embedded racism, sexism, and other social failures in our lives. Your community is exploring how we best prepare teachers to meet the needs of diverse students and center them on learning, devising new methods, new systems, new solutions to support the psychological well-being and the physical health of those who are marginalized here in the US and around the world. Your community is focused on how we use movement to engage, how we bring art to the public, how we bring joy to the classroom, and how we mediate conflict. You will at times question whether you are on the right path, and that's a good thing. Your TC education has taught you to question assumptions, rethink positions, take in new information. My own path was very circuitous. I left college after a semester, got married, had a baby. I wasn't even planning to return to school, but I did 4 years later and continued on to my doctorate. I even changed my dissertation topic in midstream. If I had not been open to new directions, I would have missed opportunities that have profoundly shaped my life. All to say that I encourage you to continue to learn, continue to question, embrace mistakes, even failures, as opportunities to learn more, question further, and in so doing, work to make the world a better place. I know you're up to this task because I know you. I've spoken to you in our hallways, joined you in our cafeteria, attended your talks, and even some of you in our housing, where I also live. As this crowd around you dissipates, even as you develop your individual paths forwards, this community will still play a role in your life. They will be your colleagues, sources of inspiration, provocation to debate, your opposition, as well as your allies. They will be fellow travelers as you continue on your paths to make meaning in a world that often seems to defy it. So today is not just a point of completion, it is also a point of departure. You are joining the ranks of TC alumni, some 90,000 strong, those who came before you and who went on to make a difference. People like John King, SUNY Chancellor, former US Secretary of Education, suffragist Mabel Ping Hua Lee, Harlem Renaissance painter and activist Aaron Douglas, Angela Santomero, co-creator of Blue's Clues, and renowned Chinese educator Tao Xing Zhu. And as you think of this community, recognize that we are not all of one belief. There are many things in this world that separate us, and in the worst case, that divide us. But I ask you to remember what unites us, a commitment to looking deeper, a commitment and looking ahead. And as we stand in this beautiful United Palace Theater, let's consider its history. More than 90 years ago, here in Washington Heights, the neighborhood's immigrant families would gather in a shared appreciation of the arts. The theater itself, which incorporates elements of Islamic, Buddhist, and Hindi architecture, rose to prominence during the Great Depression and World War II. During a time of immense challenge and uncertainty, this place brought people together and gave them the opportunity to imagine a better future. Now I ask you to do the same. Look around you, look ahead, and make your plans accordingly. Thank you.